with everything, man.
You look how I imagine Bobby Knuckles' jaw feels today.
Oh, poor dude.
I suddenly didn't feel like a late stage MMA career after watching that.
Dude, I remember walking around when I was a young man thinking I was a legitimate tough guy. Like I never backed down from a fight, had fucking hundreds of them, had them in jail. I was just 100% confident in my ability to just beat fuck out of anyone who stepped to me. And then you move to Thailand and you start training. Like I train in a gym where Bobby Knuckles trains, where Sanya trains, where Volkanovski trains, where Jerry Pachanza trains, where I was doing strength and conditioning with Rafael Viziev last week. Like you see what real tough guys are, and you go, "Oh shit!" There was not one day in my life that, like, not one single day.
Yeah, I just keep watching the UFC from the safety of the armchair, I think. Yeah. Exercising that thumb, that's yeah, that was horrible.
It's nice having a bit of having a wrestle or having grapple with it. You can't really get hurt.
Right. Okay. So it's awesome to have Maurizio back with us.
Yeah, glad to be back. Glad to be back, guys. Hopefully you had a really nice week last week. How was last week anyway? Just catching up around everything. Yeah, I started catching up this morning with markets, with positions, with everything. So yeah, still going through a bunch of stuff that I want to show you later on. But go ahead, Ian.
So in addition to this call, then everybody make sure that you look out for Maurizio's daily update. If you want to make sure that you always get notifications when Scott or Maurizio posts, you click on your face in the top right corner of the group, settings, notifications, and then you've got all the options there. And then whenever they post, ding, your little bell will ring in the corner. So on the screen, then we've got a nice, clean, weekly Bitcoin chart. So obviously we had a really fantastic week a couple of weeks ago where we had the breakout, and then last week we were retesting, and this just looks lovely. Why does it look lovely? One, because it was a volatile retest. There was really an effort to push the price down, but we got to
go down, and it didn't it? It tried to go down in just like 3 days. That was all they got.
That was it. And then if we look at where we have just closed, you know, we're back within this little range that I've marked up here that we'll have a look at. So first off, this is bullish. No two ways about it this close. What would have been super bullish is if we could have closed above this kind of 69, borderline 70,000, just outside of that green region. That would have been super bullish. The reason I think that would have been super bullish is because I don't think then we would have spent too much time in this kind of little range here. And this is what I've got my eye on at the moment. There's been a lot of price action that has happened in this little range here. There's been a lot of retests and rejections that have happened here. So that's why I said it would have been super bullish if we could have closed above there. So my kind of percentages going forward then, I'm putting us at 75% that we spend one more week in this range. So on the daily chart, that's just going to look like candle up, candle down, candle up, candle down. You know, people start drawing little lines going, it's a bear flip-flop flag thing. But I think that's what it'll just look like. And then the reason I'm saying that, it is based on that this has been a shorter term accumulation type range. It's like we have these smaller little grabs. Sure, we failed a couple of times. So that's what I'm seeing here. Now, what that means is that we could see another downside wick. Certainly on the daily, we could see downside wicks, because if we're just in this, if we're kind of just cruising along, then we could look to retest the bottom of this green range, which would then give us a So certainly a daily wick. So that's where I'm at. 75% that we're just going to move sidewards with some downside wicks. 25% that we break out at the end of this week. But then that's 75%. It's setting us up for this breakout, which happens, this bit never changes. It happens when we get back to the top of the range and the all-time highs, and we break through it and we retest it, and then that's when we're off. So that's where I'm at with the Bitcoin, Maurizio.
That's pretty good, man. That's pretty good. What are you reckon, Scott?
I'd change the odds a little bit. I think if you look at the last couple of days, so when we have a trading range, what a trading range really looks like is this bullshit with lots of up, down, lots of overlapping. We're definitely in a trading range, but we're starting to get the first little signs that it's not like a trading range should be, 80-20 to stay in the trading range, right? But towards the end of the trading range, we're seeing a wick, a retest with a little wick, a small inside day. The market is perfectly balanced there. And just here, we see it open at the lows, close near the highs, expanded range, higher low. This candle to me is very subtle and nothing you'd want to really hang your hat on, like this one here. But to me, this is the clue that we were in a trading range here, and I think here, and you can't read too much into it because it's Sunday. What I'd like to do is look at the Velo data and see what the open interest is doing. Because if it's going to do a flash drop, it'll be something funny where okay, so we've got proper basis, no liquidations in a while. The basis is coming back. Okay, so this basis trade coming back is going to bring institutional traders back. I've had my institutional trader friends messaging me, asking me, is there basis trades in crypto again yet? And as soon as there is, like, they get a huge bonus for like 13% a year or some shit, right? Like if they can get 20% for free on internet money, they're all over that. They don't even have to do their jobs anymore. So let's look at Bitcoin first because it's the big dog here. Okay. Premium got a little bit high there. Price went up with open interest going down. So this is the tell that this was not going to break out here. You can see if price is going up and it's going to break out of a trading range, it shouldn't drop open interest because the open interest dropping is traders clearing their positions. They gave it another little try here. It went up to make another little high here, but lower open interest. So what that tells us is the traders who've been holding from all the way back here are 50-50 about it. And if they're 50-50 about it, they call. If they're 50-50 about it, they bank their profits. And so that's what's happening here. Now, let's take a look at a little bit closer, a little bit smaller time frame. Okay, so open interest is dropping while price is dropping. Price is rising, open interest is still dropping. Couldn't hang your hat on anything there. Now let's look at it. I wouldn't want to make a call based on open interest. I think we should look at the CVD because that's probably going to give us the clearest. Let's look at futures and spot. So what we want to see is spot buying leading away. So you can see it's a bit subtle at this stage. But you can see that as futures buying is still going down, more aggressive sellers on futures than buyers. On spot buyers, we're starting to see accumulation, which tells us that people think that on average, it's smart to be aggressive here. This is more bullish than the open interest situation was. Probably not for this session, though. Let's just take another quick look at. Let's look at how it's looked by, okay, CVD dollars across exchanges. You can see that Binance has turned up, OKX has turned up. Bybit is still a bit flat. Did we have any liquidations in the last week?
Yeah, we did. I just had a look, and seems like it was a bunch of liquidations, probably on the drop of the dump or whatever on Friday. It wasn't that many. Friday or Saturday, I think.
Okay, so let's look at what sort of seasonality we can expect. This is actually quite a strong edge. So for about the next 4 to 6 hours, I would not expect anything much from crypto. And our cumulative return by session, this is us. We're typically looking for bearish seasonality during this session. Let's look at the last 2 weeks. Not much in it, but I mean, clearly the Australian Asian session is the weakest session, right?
Mm.
Yeah, Mauricio, sorry for interrupting. Do you want that? That's basically all I've got to say. Is I think actually there's probably a couple more things I should look at. First of all, we want to look at Sol.
Sol's performing really well. I was having a look this morning and have a look at the chart of Sol against ETH, and Sol definitely is driving hard, man. Like now, finally, sort of like at the peak. So I don't see that. I don't see that ETH is going to overtake Sol, especially with that chart happening.
The only thing that could cause it is a short squeeze, and that would
Definitely.
be a funding rate thing. And what is the funding rate on? I'll figure it out later. But the only thing that could cause that to change would be a funding rate thing. Okay, so let's look at the rest of our list. Things that we're holding, that's the wrong chart for that. I mean, Retadia is starting to behave like a real chart, right? Like technical analysis, it's starting to work now. Whereas it didn't work at all, like back here. It was all just like one guy could move it. This is looking pretty promising to me. I think we're in good shape. Doge, big mover last week, near the highs. Happy to hold it. Near. Don't think you can justify that. INJ, don't think you can justify that. DYDX after its big update. Total FOMO, retrace the whole lot. AVAX, another shitty VC coin. AR, we've held this for a while. We jumped out of it ages ago, I think. This one is not turning into a winner. Pepe, that's disappointing. Broke down from its wedge. Bad week. Chainlink, I never liked this. It looks like it's going down. Sui. This is one to look. This is one to look at because we've got a winning position here.
Hmm.
That could be capitulation, or it could be the start of a new leg down. What do you think?
I think, well, I'll go through everything, but I think it's capitulation, and I think
Also,
it wants to go another leg. I see a lot of development. I'm starting going deep in the on-chain metrics, and I see a lot of stuff happening in Sui. So I don't see that is might drop. It might get another leg though. But yeah, tracking that one closely on chain.
FTM, I really like here.
Mm.
Oh, that's the word. What do you think of this? I mean, this has been pretty well behaved in the downtimes, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, Ina, definitely. If the bull run comes in, I think it depends because the way that the protocol works in terms of how they manages, the USD and stuff like that, it should behave really well on bull run. So on bull run, seems like it's stopping now in terms of people selling stuff like that. And if the bull run comes along or Bitcoin, breaks 70, I will expect Ina to do really, really well. At least go to the listing price easily.
Yeah, keep in mind that I was wrong before. I was heavily in this at $1 and held it all the way down. Woo, it's one of my favorite coins. It's just not behaving right. It's just not the right theme for today. Mog, not terrible. Pendle, probably going to get another leg down there, right? And Ray, we bought last week. Fucking hell yeah. This is the DEX that all that scam trading gets done on. So it's just an obvious play, right? Now, one other thing I want to show you. Okay, since the very first drop, Popcat, Sui, Ray, Tau, Pendle, Rune. Since the most recent drop, Popcat, Ray, Mog, Sui, Ina, Pendle. What's that? Dog with hat too. Doge, Rune, Solana. So the ones that you want to think about trimming from your portfolio: AVAX, BNB, Atom, INJ, OP, Link, ETH, TRX, Phil, ADA, Lever, HNT, CVX, MKR. You can do yourself a huge favor just by cutting coins which are riskier than Bitcoin but haven't outperformed Bitcoin. And before I finish up, I'll just throw it on the deck screener and take a look at some of these stupid things that we're following. How many of you caught the meme coin presentation last Friday? I think Sigma. I think Sigma is almost a better value proposition than Retardio here. Retardio looks okay. Let's look at Mitch, which we secretly hold a lot of the supply here. So what I'm going to do is we pulled a scam here, and I sent 1% of supply to a big meme coin trader who has copy traders, and they immediately did this. So I think we can run that playbook again, because between Antoine and I, we own like 15% of supply or something. So we can just pick some dumb meme coin trader with a lot of copy follows like Murad and dump into his wallet. And if we do that at the right time of day, that should be able to repeat that trick. Nigger butt is surprisingly strong for a stupid thing like it is. Tramp, I got out of all the election coins. They weren't doing their thing. Like few days before the election, these should be going nuts. That's not going nuts. So I'm out of Trump. I'm out of Trump. Crash out. I'm still in. Get a daily chart. Yeah, I think it's death or glory with this one. It's probably going to hold heat today. Skibbity. I saw. Did you see what I did here, Maurizio? This was my exit.
All right, that you got into that one last week, right? I wasn't following that one. Yeah,
Well,
that was last week.
let's that's my wallet address. That's my wallet address. And I'm in this. I'm in this group. They added me to this group chat where they're going to pump it up. It's like Diddy's toilet, and it's all the Retardio cabal, like every single person involved in Retardio. And just listening to these guys talk, it was like, you guys are just fucking imbeciles. I would never associate with any of you in real life. I'm just going to set a limit order for 4 times my buy price and dump on you fools and wreck the chart. And lo and behold, I dumped on those fools and wrecked the chart. But we all got a 4x out of it, and I warned everyone like take profits early. Like this is not a love affair kind of thing. What else are we looking at here? Let's look at GOAT, because it's the current hot thing. I mean, that's fucking strong. I hate all this. And memes AI is the other one. Is there any other AI coins people want me to look at while we're here? Look, so what I showed you with Skibidi was a 200 to 400. It was at the time a $400,000 market cap coin. So a $400,000 market cap coin, a $4,500 sell crashed the chart. So let's look at Minch and go, Minch is a 57 market cap coin. So it doesn't matter how much supply we have of it. What we need is to get it to at least $1 million before all of us can sell more than $1,000 at a time without wrecking the chart. PGN Spartan AI. I mean, okay. So the first thing you want to look at, snipers, and see, are there any unrealized snipers? No, that whole sniping bot thing that used to be highly profitable. One guy made $800, big fucking deal. Top traders. Okay, so they're selling. What are these guys selling? So there's a big seller in here. Let's look at the holders. How big is it? 15 million. I'd be very concerned about this guy. This guy with 5% of the supply and this guy with 3% of the supply. Let's take. Let's get the contract list. So the next thing you do is you copy the contract, go to bubble maps. Switch it to Solana. All right. So what do you see here? You see deliberate attempts to obfuscate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a cluster of wallets. 1, 2, 3. So we see, so anyone who knows enough to do shit like this is a player, right? So we've got a bunch of players, and these guys on their own are retail guys who are being used as exit liquidity. So if you were to play this, and it looks like it's going up, what you want to do is get all of these addresses and place an alert. How do you place an alert? You go to CeeLo Finance to have a Telegram bot. I'll post the link in the chat. And you put all those addresses on alert, and or use the wallet tracker bot. Anytime you see any sort of fuckery, you just jump out, like full stack Hitler. Okay, anyone else? TRT looked dead to me when I looked at it, so I took it off the list, but it pumped again a little bit. No, this is not the one.
No, that's not that one.
This
Yeah,
one?
that one. Yeah.
Nah, that's dead, dude. Okay, fill and render. Very interesting charts. Let's look at that. Just hasn't done much compared to the other coins. And render the same. You can see clearly if we look at you can see it's just slow out of the gate, right?
Mhm. I think it's too much. I'll go through a bunch of stuff that I'm tracking this morning. There is a lot of more mind sharing to different narratives that are popping out. And obviously, crypto goes really well with new stuff, new narratives, new possibilities, right?
It's much easier. It's much easier since none of it's worth anything. It's much easier to assume it's much easier to like fantasize about something that no one knows what it's worth going to $1 squillion rather than Phil. We know what Phil looked like in the middle of a speculative mania in 2021. That's ceiling, right?
Exactly. Yeah, and render obviously those are strong projects anyway, but still what I'm seeing right now, especially I've been doing some stuff this morning, new narratives coming up, and I think in AI, so to speak, right? And then obviously that's actually getting a lot of mindshare, people taking some profits or putting some money into those new projects instead of like the long-term good projects. I think Phil is going to be there for a while, render as well, AI for a while, but then they're not getting the love right now. I think it's a lot of new stuff getting the love, which I don't know if they're going to hold, but those are the ones that are actually getting all the attention. So you want me to go through everything?
Yeah, go through whatever you want to.
All right, so let me share my screen. I see my screen now.
And
All right, so obviously being away for a whole week, interesting where the market's at. Pretty much, I was sort of tracking in terms of Bitcoin, because one of the things that obviously I've seen that drives the price of Bitcoin a lot is going to be the ETFs, right? Like ETFs seems to be now the way that Bitcoin sort of tracks traction in a way. So this is as of Friday, right? So obviously as of Friday look really good. Let's see how everything opens today in terms of Bitcoin. So obviously Bitcoin, I really like it. I'm bullish, especially, but obviously we have the election. So I think it's going to be a little bit choppy. But if we go in, this is the monthly chart, which is going to be closing about 2 or 3 days. And if it closes like this, this is pretty bullish, man. Like if this closes above this, around this level, right? Especially around, I will say above the 67-ish area, I think we're on. And if that coincides with, the election finishes and all that sort of stuff, there will be a nice push, man. Like I think it will be a nice push. We could have a push to the 70 prior election. What was your thoughts on that, Scott? Because obviously, if I look
Yeah,
at from the
here's the way that you should think about it. Predictable things about the price tomorrow should be incorporated in the price today. Right now, we have, what are the odds? It's like 67%.
Yeah, I'm 50-50 in a way. I'm actually 50-50. But the price action is quite like if you're looking from the daily, right? Obviously in this area that yeah, a
So
lot of good
let's go at 60-40, because I think
right.
that's probably fair. We've got a 60% chance of crypto being worth instantly 25% higher.
hmm
Is crypto worth less if Kamala gets in? Is that's the real question?
I don't think you want. I think
Maybe in the short term it could take a dump.
short term, I do believe so. Yeah, if Kamala wins, then definitely there's not there won't be that pump that everybody's waiting for it, right?
Okay,
That could be.
So we've got the way so measure your probabilities. Open up a spreadsheet if you can, please.
I mean,
Just a new term. And so in one column we have Trump winning. We have 0.6. The next column over we have it's worth the odds of Trump winning are 0.6. We agreed it's about a 25-30% boost, right?
hmm
What do you think?
I think 25.
Okay.
Well, I think if Trump wins, I think he will get at least 30% boost. Definitely.
Okay, so 1.3. And then if Kamala wins in the column below 0.6, we've got 0.4. And are we talking a short-term dump and long-term about the same?
Yeah, well, I'm talking a short-term dump, probably at least 10%, by people taking profits and stuff like that, that will sort of cascade down.
In Bitcoin, you really think it's going to drop 10?
No, not in Bitcoin, probably across like total 3 and stuff like that. But the Bitcoin probably will be at 3%, give or take, dump.
Call it 0.95. Okay, now multiply both of those two rows into a third column, and then sum them. So what's your number?
116.
Okay, so your number should be that the election should be giving us about a 16% boost in the run up to the election as things became clear. When did the wheels start to fall off for Kamala and her stupid campaign?
I'm looking into that. Obviously, I'm tracking. I'm gonna be doing a little.
It was really she just hasn't been a good candidate. Like I'm a lefty and she just feel right.
And right.
So I would have said probably since about a month ago, right? So in about the last month, we can expect an election boost of about 12%, and Bitcoin, we're up exactly since the start of the month. Where are we at?
So this is the start of the month right here.
Yep, we are up 12.69%. So you can see that our back of the thumbnail estimates of how much price should have gone up based on the election odds adjusting was actually quite right. So the point that I'm trying to make here is that when people tell you, I think this is going to happen and I think that's going to happen and therefore it's going to go to 200K, that's always bullshit, because unless you're dealing with secret information that other people don't know, like if you knew you had a photo of someone doing a turd in Donald Trump's mouth and they were going to release it the week before the election, like that would be secret information that would alter the things, right? But
Mhm.
yeah, we don't have anything secret. So there's no reason to believe that we're smarter than everyone else in the market put together. And
Correct.
and you calculated that you thought there'd be about a 12% boost, and there was a
Mhm.
12.9% boost. So your calculations are pretty good, right?
Mm. Mm. Yeah, that's a really good way to look into it. So
Yeah, I'm
conclusion.
bro. If you don't have secret
Okay.
information, you can't go you can't go playing macro, bro, with any of this shit. Like that way will
Definitely.
really fuck you.
Yeah. Cool. No, but yeah, no, all good, all good. But I'm still like definitely, obviously, by the calculations, bullish either way, right? Obviously, so I'm sort of looking into these new narratives in terms of what's likely to keep pumping, and at least either candidate will win. So let me go through like Ethereum. Let me go through the narratives because I think the narratives are really important. So what I've seen this morning, obviously been doing a little bit of tracking of the markets and things like that, is that this new AI agents narrative, the centralized AI agent. So we have AI as a narrative as a whole, but within the AI sector, we do have like micro sectors. And one of the ones that actually are pumping is the AI agents ecosystem and things like that. Have you guys heard about that? I've been tracking it for like a week or so, 2 weeks, but then it seems like now it's getting nuts. So there's some projects that are actually driving that infrastructure. Essentially, you can actually create AI agents on a decentralized matter. So what is an agent? For those ones that don't know, an agent is a piece of software or a piece of AI that you actually develop and you run it on a server. In this case, it's going to run in a crypto network, in a crypto on-chain. And then obviously you can actually gain from it. You can make your AI agents smarter. You can actually rent it. You can actually profit from it. So I think that's the narrative that is going to be leading 2025. There is a lot of platforms, not on the decentralized, not on crypto, but there's a lot of other platforms in the real world and companies creating a lot of AI agent platforms. And now that's being brought forward into the crypto market. And there's some platforms that I'm following and it looked pretty interesting. So let me highlight Virtual. Virtual is one of them. And Virtual, look at this thing.
Oh,
So obviously there is a platform that you can actually create your own AI agents. So people that are actually jumping into the AI world. The downside of AI is if you create your own AI agent, it's going to become centralized in whatever platform you actually deploy it, right? So if that platform is not allowing you to sell it, then that's the main issue of AI as well at the moment. So these platforms now become decentralized. People can actually launch their own AI on a decentralized manner. And I think this could be the new narrative. Like it's picking up, like I'm tracking this thing and it's picking up so I'm going to do a full list of all this stuff, but these ones are the ones that I highlighted the most. So I got virtual AI, virtual. I got Olas. That's another platform that is allowing people to create their own agent. There is Boto as well. And there is another one that is actually on gaming as well. So I think that narrative, you can actually see that could be the narrative for the next couple of months, right? So obviously that's why you see capital from all these good projects like AR, Phil, RNDR, dropping. And I can see that this narrative is actually picking up. So I'm going to do a full list and do sort of like what are the best ones out there. But I think virtual is the winner. Definitely, this thing is just going nuts. So yeah, that's what I have in terms of all the stuff that I'm watching this morning. Where I'll be looking, I need to actually sort of transfer a little bit of the portfolio over into this new narrative. So that could do well. I'm looking into Spec and Saga as well from the AI ecosystem, Prime as well. For Prime, Prime is an interesting thing because it's a gaming ecosystem. The gaming now is picking up. Let me show you in so on the sector performance on Velo data, you can see that obviously meme coins still the leader, but you can see that now gaming is actually picking up a little bit, right? So that's why I haven't actually closed any of my gaming propositions like Neon and Pixel, even though Pixel I don't really like it anymore, but I'm still holding it. I think it could pick up. So within the narrative, there is Prime. So Prime is an infrastructure, and now it seems like they will have an AI agent platform as well within gaming. So this could be one that it could actually merge two interesting narratives. So that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at Run as well in the gaming sort of stuff. So I'm looking at a bunch of different things that it could go, but I think if we go by narrative, I think my biggest option will be picking up something on the AI agent narrative that it could do well in the next couple of months. And if you think from that perspective, that might not be affected by the election stuff like that because it's technology in a way. Like AI will develop anyway. So I think that's the proposition on that one. I will do some more research on it before I jump into this one, but that's kind of what I have this morning. It looks pretty interesting, very, very interesting price action and very, very interesting proposition, I guess, in terms of the platform itself. So yeah, that's what I have at this moment. So that could be a really good one that I really like. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of interesting narratives coming up in the next couple of weeks.
Amazing, dude. Amazing.
So yeah, there is a
reckon-
lot of there. I think this narrative, it will go like. So I'm going to see if I find some really good early projects that we can get into. Because there's a bunch of new stuff coming out, man. Yeah.
Well, I think it's going to be a pretty exciting week with you back, Maurizio, and these new coins that you've got.
Yeah.
And yeah,
It will be a lot of different things, guys, in terms of new narratives and new projects. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited because obviously the only that be cautious in terms of leverage, I guess, with the election and things like that, I think it's going to be choppy. But besides that, I think if we can start getting position on spot on this good project, I think we could do really well.
I think so.
Well, that's absolutely fantastic.
Very
Maurizio,
cool.
let me know what time you want to meet after this call. Thank
Sure.
you, everyone. And I'll see you in the group and around the bazaars. Nice one.
All right, guys.